the second day of MSME Week 2023. This is a series of 4 sessions during this week, and we had a very interesting session yesterday where we talked about macroeconomic and policy and incentive related information which was shared in the last session. Today's session, as we all know, that is going to talk about digital transformation of MSMEs. And we will have presentation by 2 government representatives and in sense 2 private representatives. ONDC is going to present in today's program along with GEM, and we also have with us digital strategist and fintech specialist, as well as a young founder who's running a digital solution company for MSME, especially for exporters. So welcome all of you. I see all the 4 speakers with us. We will first go by the presentation from ONDC. This particular session is being watched over FICCI Byte platform. And if whoever is participating in FICCI Byte platform can always ask questions by using the right bottom side button of question and answer. We have access to that portal. So if you are going to send any kind of questions to us, we will take up with the presenters here. So without further delay, let me invite first Nishima Kale, who's the Vice President of Network Expansion from ONDC, which is Open Network for Digital Commerce, to share her presentation. Welcome, Nishima.
Thank you very much. Very grateful and happy to be here. Yeah, Deepak, like you, I'm also facing a little bit of a bandwidth issue. So in case anything gets slipped up, I will switch off the video during the session, but the presentation should go on. Do let me know if everybody can hear me. I hope that there's no relay issue and all of that.
We can hear you. There is minor, I think, relay issues there on video. So maybe you can just switch off the video and use your presentation only.
Okay, got it. Let me do that then. Give me a second. I'm just going to share my screen. Okay, can everybody share my screen? See my screen?
Yes, we can see your screen.
Okay, wonderful. So then I'll begin. I'll try and finish the presentation in about 20-25 minutes, and then we'll keep the last 5-7 minutes for any questions anybody has. I also have my colleague Meenakshi, who will help me answer any questions in case we skip over time, or in case any help or more help is needed, or questions are more in number. So without further ado, I will now start and introduce ONDC to all of you. So ONDC's goal is to dramatically step change e-commerce penetration, right? We estimate that only 1% or less than 1% of sellers are currently selling online, and it is at a dramatically lower penetration than many of the other countries like China, Asia, the US, where the numbers are fairly high. Even with the lower penetration, even within this, the share of rural and smaller towns is very little. And the idea with ONDC is to be able to bring that e-commerce penetration to the last mile and to the last person on the ground, including all the rural areas and enabling smaller retailers, right? So to democratize e-commerce in a way is our goal, and that's what ONDC exists for. In today's e-commerce ecosystem, there are certain limitations that exist, right? And those exist in the form of the 4 problems listed here. First, that we have limited choices for sellers to be online, right? Today, the options available for any sellers for joining any e-commerce business, whether it's mobility, whether it's food and beverage, whether it's grocery, it's only about 2 players per sort of domain, per category. So you don't have a lot of choice for sellers to come online, at least at a big scale, in order to be able to show their products in the e-commerce space. Even when they come in, there is inability of all the retailers, small or big, to set their own terms and conditions. So you will have to work with the commissions that the platforms today offer. You'll have to work with the return policies. You'll have to work with payment terms. All of the terms and conditions are basically dictated by these platforms, right? Let's say you decide that you don't want to go with any platform and you make your own website and you invest your own money to be able to bring traffic. That itself, requires a fair bit of investment, and discoverability isn't the easiest within that space either, right? So it will require for you to spend money on search. It will require for you to spend money on customer acquisition, which is an expensive, sort of affair, and discoverability hence becomes a challenge, right? So most players, these are the problems that occur when they want to kind of enter the e-commerce domain and make hay there. These are the problems. ONDC is basically going to find a way to solve the problems that I just mentioned, right? So whether it's a problem of limited choice, whether it's the problem of small retailers not being able to operate on big platforms with their terms and conditions, these are some of the things that we are planning to solve for. And the ONDC entire piece revolves around two basic principles. The basic principles are unbundling and interoperability. First, let me tackle unbundling, right? Unbundling means one single entity does not have to own all parts of the e-commerce chain, right? It can be broken down into different activities, and different entities can do different parts, right? So for example, the way the BPO industry works, right? So different parts of the business are outsourced so that final delivery of the product is more cost efficient. And hence, then one single player may not have the capability to run all parts of the business. So the unbundling basically makes sense, and hence the BPO industry has seen the success that it has seen. In an e-commerce world, however, we have a single entity or a single player that continues to own all parts of the entire transaction, right? So right from search to delivery, it is operated by a single entity. And so therefore, what ONDC brings to the fore is basically how do you break down each e-commerce activity as something that can be handled by independent entities and does not require one platform to do entire end-to-end functioning. Similarly, now once we have this unbundling principle in place, we also work around interoperability. And for unbundling to actually work seamlessly, you will need interoperability, which means that all these independent unbundled entities will need to talk to each other without interruption, right? Hence, this need for interoperability to exist, we need a common language or protocol, which is where ONDC comes in, and which is where we are working towards connecting all the unbundled entity in the e-commerce domain today with each other, right? ONDC is basically a protocol which allows for all these different entities to talk to each other. Now, protocols are something that we use in our daily lives, even though we may not think of them consciously. For example, if you talk about email, right, and that's the example that's covered here in the slide, emails are different for different people, right? So I may have a Hotmail, somebody else may have a Gmail. We have an email system that uses the SMTP protocol, which allows us to send emails to each other, right? So like I said, a Hotmail person can talk to a Gmail using the SMTP protocol, and so on and so forth, right? So protocol allows for interoperability across, right? Similarly, ONDC is a protocol for digital commerce, right? It has created, it's an open protocol for e-commerce purposes, and it serves the same purpose the way email serves, but whereas that it provides a common language for one entity to talk to each other entity. So whether buyer entity, or whether you're a seller entity, or whether you are, let's say, a logistics entity or a cataloging entity, or doing any part of the entire e-commerce transaction, you will be able to talk to each other using the ONDC protocol. ONDC is the first in the world open protocol for e-commerce. It has never been tried anywhere in the world. It's the first time that we are trying it. The original protocol was built by the Beacon Foundation, and ONDC has taken the Beacon the protocol layer, and built an e-commerce layer on top of that. So in today's scenario, we, like I was saying, for us to understand unbundling and operability, let me just take up today's scenario on e-commerce. So today we have a buyer side, and then we have a seller side, and then we have the entire delivery piece, right? So you have buyer side activities, you have seller side activities, and then you have the entire order delivery piece, right? Buyer side activities are things like searching for product, building the cart, and working around the payment gateways. Seller side activities like catalog management, the order fulfillment, figuring out the returns and cancellations, and then finally the logistics bit of it is the order delivery. Now all these three happen on a single platform, with a single entity being responsible for the end-to-end solution. When you go to another platform, similar activity will be seen end-to-end from a seller and buyer side as well, right? So all platforms, basically operate independently. These closed platforms can't talk to each other. So the buyer on one platform cannot talk to the buyer on the another platform, and they cannot talk to the sellers on each other's platform either, right? So everyone has to register on multiple platforms, and there is no single place where one can register and work out, right? Now, when ONDC comes to the picture, different entities will be able to do different activities. So, for example, one party can only do the buyer application. So, and you can have another party doing only seller side application, and then a third party doing only logistics and fulfillment. They are all connected, like I said, through the open protocol, and so the same activities that happen on a closed platform can now happen on an open platform with two major differences. First is that, like I said, different entities doing different things, and the protocol or the language that connects them is not closed. It's not proprietary in nature. It is basically an open platform that anybody can come and give their services to, and it allows for everybody to bring their strengths to the table. So if you are an entity that is good at only cataloging or has a cataloging technology product, you can come in only as a cataloging service provider. If you are somebody who owns a courier company, wants to work on the logistics side, then you only need to come in and give those services, right? So you can play to your strengths instead of building an entire e-commerce network. Like I said, over a period of time, you will get many entities that are doing different components of the solution, and all of them will combine with each other to form a very big single network where the complete solution is available in different ways. So it is important to note that all sellers, all logistics, all players can interact with each other and only need to register once, right? So you don't need to register once for different players. You can register. You don't need to register multiple times for different players. Only one registration is required. And once you are registered as a seller, you will be, let's say, you will be visible to all the buyer applications. Similarly, once you have registered as a buyer application, you will be visible to all sellers. So only one single sign-on and registration is required. Now let's understand some of these possibilities that I was talking about. Any entity that has a user base can become a buyer app. It does not need a specific set of sellers, listings, all of that. So for example, today on the network, we have Paytm and we have PinCode, which is a phone pay entity. They are the buyer entities, right? So they both are payment apps that have a user base already, and are now bringing the e-commerce experience to their customer base, linking up with using the ONDC protocol, right? Similarly, you have banks like IDFC and Kotak, and Kotak just went live with us a few days back, where they have customers on the app, but they don't have a seller side enabled, right? So they can basically use the ONDC protocol and get only buyers on the app, and make their customers have access to all of the e-commerce, all of the e-commerce ecosystem. Now, they are basically taking shoppers, bringing shoppers onto the network. So again, similarly, if you have on the seller side, you have social media companies or you have telecom companies, which have large seller pools. Those seller pools can also be enabled by basically getting the listings in place. So if you have a seller marketplace where you have lots of people who want to sell, if you have, let's say, restaurants listed somewhere, you have a small platform, you only want to bring those sellers on, you don't have a lot of buyers coming into your application or your platform, but you have a lot of seller side visibility, then you can use that as a strength to come to ONDC itself, right? Similarly, if you are only somebody, like I mentioned, you only do cataloging as a service, you can bring that onto Fold as well. So this way, the buyers are bringing the buyer side, making their customers shopping enabled. The sellers are bringing in the products and the listings and the cataloging. And then there's separately a logistics piece as well. So like I said, buyers bring in the buyers, sellers bring in the sellers, and the logistics piece is managed by as a service as well, right? So you can typically take something as logistics and buy it off the network itself, while getting somebody to place the orders. This is the complete picture, right? So when the universal, it's a universal buyer seller logistics network. So it allows for the buyer and seller apps to be connected to each other. So if you have one buyer app, it will be able to talk to all the sellers and all the logistics applications. Similarly, the seller apps will be able to talk to all the buyer applications that are available and all the logistics places that are available, and so on and so forth. So it just becomes a very interoperable connect, each one connected to each other, kind of a mesh large network that we have. This is just a understanding of where we are today. We have 9 buyer applications, right? Where we started officially on 29th of April, which our first transaction took place. This is where we are today. With 9 buyer applications, we have about 100 million potential buyers on the network already. We have 7 logistics applications, including the delivery, load share, Dunzo, and more also in pipeline. On the seller side, we have 29 seller applications, which is a mix of brands, marketplaces, technology companies, POS softwares, all of that. As we open more categories, more geographies, and more use cases, this number is set to only go up. So we have a network that is going to be really rich in terms of seller density as well as buyer density. This is the pipeline of network participants that we have across roles. We have 3,000 plus that are in the process of integrating with us from a tech point of view, and we have 42 plus that are in advanced stage on the seller side, buyer side, and the logistics piece. So once this is, you will notice that some of these are not actually e-commerce entities. The network does not require, like I said, for an e-commerce entity to be in place. Some of these are just bits and pieces of what they're doing, and they can today join the network and become an e-commerce entity. And the broader idea of the network is also to so that for it can be contributed to by multiple entities, and collectively we can achieve the scale that one buyer side, one app will not be able to kind of get to. So as long as we are interconnected and interoperable, we will be in the scale that will not be able to be reached by one specific entity. And this is a enabler for growth, like I said, right? So all you have to do is plug into the ONDC and complete your e-commerce solutions. There is no need to manage all components of your e-commerce piece. There is no need to set up separate business activities. You just need to bring into your network whatever is your core competency and partner with us in the most cost-efficient manner for your business. If any of you have the Paytm app or the pin code app, I would urge for you to search the ONDC, search for ONDC and do place an order, try us out. These are all the other apps that we have as well. So we have Paytm, like I said, IDFC, Kotak is also now live. Any of these apps you can log on to, and you can scan the code also and get started and order on ONDC, and do pass on how the experience has been. I'm just capturing, like I said, the benefits that ONDC brings to buyers, sellers, and technology companies. So for buyers, we are a single platform which has now access to all domains. It's a unified experience across different types of products and categories, with a wide array of domains and categories that we can offer, and gives wider options to the customers as well. We have buyer experience that is going to be key differentiator for everyone. So once all categories are available across all apps, then the buyer side will be the key experience will be key in differentiating why the customers come to you. So that's one advantage the buyers will have going through. For sellers, you will be discoverable by the entire buyer universe with only a single registration. There will be no need for multiple platform signups. The way we see it, it's a low-cost access to the entire value chain. Along with this, we will also, give access to sellers on business analytics, which today's sellers may not get. The way ONDC is structured is that if you're a seller, you will have access to all your seller, customer invoices, and so you can have an understanding of where the orders are going, what kind of demand is coming from where. So you'll have access to very rich analytics that will help you develop your business. We also, reputation is one thing that we will be also available in ONDC across all network platform, across all buyer and seller networks. So if you're a seller and you've built reputation in the form of reviews and ratings, in a product and market, you will be able to transfer that across in different seller apps and different buyer apps. Whenever whenever your reputation is built. So it's not like if you are associated with one closed network, your reputation will not travel with you. Whatever hard work you put in on ONDC, it is transferable across different platforms. For technology companies, like I said, we can provide whatever part of the solution instead of the end-to-end solution, and bring in your core competency and have a separate revenue generation stream via ONDC as well. While I've spoken a lot about what ONDC is, I will just demystify and ensure that everybody understands that what ONDC is not as well. We are not an application, we are not a platform, we are not a product. So if you go and search on a Play Store, for ONDC, that is not our app. We are not, you're not available. You can't log into the service and basically place orders. We are a single model. It's a flexible structure for many models and for creating new services for which you don't need to build all components. We are a decentralized network, not a central intermediary. We are not a regulator either. We consult a lot of industry entities to be able to make our policies and take opinion from them. We are subject to the same e-commerce laws that every other player is, and we are also subject to the Consumer Protection Act. That is the law of the land, right? So we are not a regulator. We are not an app. We are not a single model, and neither are we central intermediary. ONDC is a brainchild of the Ministry of Commerce, and the Honorable Minister of Commerce also believes that it will be really democratize e-commerce, and the small retailers across the country will also benefit. And that is the real, reason for ONDC's existence. We began as a project with an advisory council, which comprises of all the stalwarts listed here across multiple domains, and all of them having experience in building infrastructure at population scale. And our impact is now visible with 35,000 sellers, 44 lakh products, 236 cities that are alpha live, and 2 cities that are beta live as well. In case you want to know how to join ONDC, you can visit our website and click on the tab for ONDC participants, with network participants. You can contact any seller app that is live or in advanced stages to link up with them. If you don't want to do the tech integration, all you have to do is basically sync up with the seller apps, and they will help you integrate with them. You don't have to directly see. You can also drop in a line to team@ondc.org and indicate your interest in joining the network, and somebody from our team will then touch base with you and take your details. Yeah, that's it. I think that's it on my end. Happy to take any questions.
Thank you, Nishima, for giving us an overview of how ONDC is actually sort of as a network being worked out, and in last 1 year, I see a lot of addition, big numbers getting added. So good job to the ONDC team. And I just wanted to maybe there is one question which we can maybe first take, and then you can answer that. Can resort or hotel rent out using ONDC? Any feedback you can give on that?
Yeah, so we will be activating hospitality as a as a service as well. We haven't activated that yet. So yes, in future you will be able to do that using ONDC as well. But today we
Okay.
don't have that use case activated.
Okay. Okay. There is another question someone is asking, that since Indian e-commerce market is dominated by a few large players, existing players, uh, how do you see that, that maybe brand loyalty to those particular brands? So what kind of compelling value proposition ONDC will bring, so that people move towards this as well, this platform as well.
Yeah, right. So you will have to, for example, go to different apps to do different things, right? So all the brands that if are going to be available in one place across all categories. So imagine today you have to go to Make My Trip to be able to book a ticket. Then you have to go to another place to maybe buy luggage that you need for the trip. Then you have to go to another place maybe if you want to carry some gifts for that to that place. Now all of that single thing will be enabled within ONDC itself. Our compelling value proposition is that we interconnect every e-commerce entity that is available, and we interconnect them through the app that you like. So if you choose to, I'm just giving an example. Should you choose to work on Amazon, you can still access Amazon basis using ONDC, right? So you will still be able to log into Amazon, use the ONDC protocol, and get all the sellers that are available across different platforms. So please continue using whichever platform you like. Please continue using whichever entity you prefer. But you can, via using the ONDC protocol, you will be able to access a wider set of catalog available across different products.
Okay. 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 And then someone is asking this, how do you basically, so you have talked about the, seller ecosystem, how these, whatever 40,000 plus sellers who are looking to, onboard, could be large businesses, could be small one. So, you require a different, probably kind of ecosystem or mechanism, to handle these two different kind of large entities or small entities. So is there anything you are doing to see that you have a very robust mechanism, as well as different kind of features and services getting added every time? Because maybe a large seller may have a different kind of a requirement than a smaller one. So someone is looking at probably asking about this. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's a fair question. So we have, so let's say you're a large company and you have the technology bandwidth to directly integrate with ONDC. Then you can, choose to directly integrate with us and have a tech team build out the API and the protocol piece. If you are a small retailer and you don't have the chance to basically build out the technology, you can touch base with any of the network participants that are listed on the website, which I mentioned, and you can directly touch base with them and say that you want to integrate, and they will integrate you indirectly using our protocol. So you will not need to build any technology. You will not need to have a tech team at your disposal to be able to integrate directly. So you can just directly call the network participant, get in touch with them, say I'm a retailer, I'm a small kirana shop owner, I want to integrate with ONDC. And there are many cross players also today that we have, like that I mentioned, right? So a lot of cross players across different kirana stores are also network participants in ONDC. So you can basically touch base with any and say, please help us onboard in ONDC. And they have a small process, like a KYC kind of process, which they use, and in 3-4 days that integration gets completed.
Okay, I have one question from my side personally. See, we had worked with these large e-com players earlier, and then they have set kind of training modules, as well as as you said, sub sort of companies who will assist you in multiple aspects of doing business on e-commerce platform, from a photography company to a banker, or all aspects to be covered. So how does ONDC make sure that with different
Hey, I think it just basically, I think the network just went off. I'm not sure. Can anybody hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, I
Deepakji,
think maybe Deepak's question.
voice is gone.
Ms. Nishima, I'm Osman D'Souza from Vicky. Until Mr. Mukhi is back, I just have a question so we can fill the gaps.
Sure,
The common retailer, uh, I mean, get visible. I mean, say you said this is different from other portals. So and there is equality. So how will be the visibility be for every, say, every retailer or every manufacturer trying to sell on your portal?
Sorry, if I understood your question correctly, what I was answering for was the onboarding piece. So how does somebody get onboarded because they don't have the bandwidth to, let's say, directly integrate? I was answering that question that basically says that, okay, if you're a small kirana store owner and you don't have the technology wherewithal to directly integrate, you can go to any of the network participants and fill the KYC details and maybe one or two small other things and get integrated. I think your question might be more around how do they get visibility, right, across.
Yes, correct.
Yeah, so I think in general we have in pipeline about 10 to 11 buyer apps, right, and growing. That itself brings in the might of almost, the idea is to get to about 1 billion people on the buyer side, right? And if that might is available, then I think basis the different apps have different logics on how they sort a specific retailer, right? So some of the and in this this sorting logic is available across websites for different players. So for example, Paytm will make its sorting logic public. The pin code will make its own sorting logic public. So basis certain criteria, the display happens, and as long as they're able to fulfill criteria, which is around fulfillment, which is around SKU availability, and so on and so forth, this becomes democratized for everybody, right? So that's the same criteria for everybody, and that's how we aim to solve for it.
Right, thank you. I think Mr. Mukhi is back.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I just got disconnected. So Nimisha, maybe I'll take one last question, which is on Fiki Byte. Byte platform, Mr. Amit Gupta is asking, a typical problem of MSME is payments on time. How does ONDC ensure timely payment for companies or ONDC is not involved in?
Sorry, I was talking on mute. Sorry. No. So the ONDC typically does not own the payment term. However, when the transaction happens, there is a transaction level contract that will tell the seller, okay, these are my payment terms. Do you agree to them or you don't, right? So if you accept the payment terms, only then those payment terms will apply. Should you choose to not be okay with the payment terms that are being offered in a specific transaction, you can always refuse that transaction and say that these payment terms are not as per your expectations. So you have the choice of accepting the payment term that is that is of agreeable, that you agree with, basically.
Okay. I think we're just probably running out of time also. So let me just thank you, Nishma, for making this presentation, and that too, we were having a lot of short notices on this, and unfortunately something happened with your colleague as well. So I hope that's fine. He's fine, so we look forward to having these kind of interactive session more, so that this is an exciting and uh, platform for sure. And I think over last 1 year, we had last time Mr. Koshi giving us, it was just starting actually at that point of time. So I see a lot of sort of progress made in that context. So all the best to all of you, and thank you very much for joining us for today's presentation.
Thank you very much for having me, and pleasure to be in the panel. Thanks.
Thank you, Nishima. Let me now invite our next presenter, who will be talking about the government marketplace. Nikhil Patel, who's the facilitator at Maharashtra on behalf of GEM, will be making this presentation. I think it's more about what new is happening. Although a lot of people who have participated on this particular area of GEM as well, and there are a lot of changes which keep on happening based on the feedback which GEM receives. So I will let Nikhil, talk about what's happening, on GEM platform. Nikhil, over to you.
Thank you, Deepak Mukhi sir, and thank you, Vicky, for inviting me for the GEM training session. So let me share my presentation, then I'll proceed further. Okay. So, so I believe my presentation is visible to all. Deepak ji, please confirm.
Yes, it is visible.
Thank you. So myself, Nikhil Patil, I'm a business facilitator for Maharashtra State. I look after sellers as well as buyers in Maharashtra State. Okay. So today we'll have a session on GEM. I'll start with the overview of the GEM. Okay. So let's begin the presentation now. So government e-marketplace, also called as GEM. It's an initiative by our Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi sir. You can see the bottom side of the this slide. These are the words from our Honorable Prime Minister. The government is committed to curbing the corruption, and one of the key aspects of this objective is to minimize the government human transaction interference. So basically, this portal is meant to reduce the human transaction and to reduce the corruption. Okay. So it's a one-stop online procurement portal for all government buyers, including central, state ministries, department, bodies, and PSUs. It was launched in, as I said, 9th August 2016. This is our URL. Those who are new, you can note it down: www.gem.gov.in. So Rule 149 of GFR, that is General Financial Rules, amends to procurement of goods and services by ministry or department will be mandatory for goods or services available on GEM platform. So GEM aims to enhance efficiency, transparency, inclusiveness, and public procurement. It provides the tools of direct purchase, L1 purchase, bidding, reverse auction. We also started with customized bid and BOQ. So this is basically a cashless portal, contactless, and paperless portal. On the slide, you can see the key stakeholders of GEM. So internal stakeholders of GEM are like who runs the engine of GEM. So basically, GEM SPV, that is Special Purpose Vehicle Authority. These are the higher authorities of GEM. MSP, that is Managed Service Providers. We have hired some consultants to run this engine. We also have a PMU, that is Project Management Unit. It's a part of GEM SPV. Who are the buyers on this portal? Central government, central POCs, state government, state POCs, autonomous bodies. These are the buyers on GEM platform. And who are the sellers? Of course, you are. And OEMs, original equipment manufacturers, MSC, Ministry of Micro and Small Enterprises, startup, authorized dealers, resellers, dealers, service providers, traders, etc. We also have integration with external government systems like UIDAI, GSTN, PFMS, MC21 PAN database, which helps us to onboard buyers and sellers for the validation purpose. We have inspection systems like CAG, CVC, CGD, and RTA. We also have a partner with banks. We have multiple banks partner, like more than 18 or 19 banks are there. We have rating agency partners like QCI, Quality Council of India. We have other commercial agencies as well. Now, as you can see on the screen, the map of India, which signifies that all the states have signed an MOU with GEM portal. Only Sikkim is left, and this is in process. So we have signed an MOU with 27 states and 8 UTs. On the right-hand side, you can see the MOU signed with financial institution banks like SBI, SDFC, Kotak, Axis Bank, RBL Bank, IDBI Bank, etc. On the left-hand side, a partnered with industry association, other institutions like SICI, DICI, SIDBI, EMA, MEIT, CI, etc. So this helps to make awareness about the GEM in terms of vendors, in terms of service providers, etc. We also have integration with MSME, MCO 21, PFMS, and Aadhaar, which whenever you do a registration, systems will validate your Aadhaar details or PAN details. So we have a integration with this. On next slide, you can see the key statistics of a GEM. So currently, there are more than 68,513 buyers registered on the GEM platform. More than sellers and sales providers are there. That is 64 lakh sellers and sales providers are there, out of which more than 10 lakhs are from Maharashtra state. We have more than 32 lakhs products and more than 290 services are available on GEM platform. Total number of orders till now, that is more than 1 crore 52 lakhs. Till now, what is the GMA or GEM? That is more than 4,42,751 crores. Out of which in last year we have done 2 lakh CR, 2 lakh crore transaction on GEM platform. Out of which MSME stands more than 50-55%. So while buying through GEM portal, we have certain limitations in terms of money. So direct purchase is limit 25,000. More than 25,000 and less than 5 lakhs rupees, you have to do a L1 purchase, that you have to compare 3 different OEMs and have to buy the lowest one. We also started with a push button procurement system, that is called PBP. In that, L1 is whatever the L1 prices come. If you want a lower price in the market, if you want a good specification of the same product to be delivered, you can go for a PBP. More than 5 lakhs rupees, you have to do a bid. It's happens in two ways. Firstly, on the specification base, and next is a PAC base, that is proprietary article certificate. It's happened on the specification plus one make and one model. If the category is not available, then we have a functionality called customized bid on GEM platform. If multiple products are not available and if you want to buy in one go, then we have a BOQ functionality, bill of quantity. So just now I said a customized bid. If the product is not available, then buyer can select a customized bid option. Wherein the product or service is not available, he can go for a customized bid. A BOQ, this is basically for the turnkey projects. If a buyer wants to buy multiple products in one bid, and if all the products are not available, then he can select the BOQ option. He has the option to get evaluation on the total value wise, item wise, and we also have a evaluation on group wise. So as I said, what are the benefits available on the GEM platform? We'll go one by one. First is a direct access to all government departments. So sellers get the direct access to sell the products, not only in the limited region. You can sell the product across the India, is the various departments. So basically, it's a one-stop shop for bids. There was such option on products and services. Next is dynamic pricing. Price can be changed based on the market condition. So if you want upload the product and if you set one prices, आप उसका price कम ज़्यादा कर सकते हैं. GEM में जो terms and condition ध्यान में रखते हुए, you can increase or decrease the price of your product. Strong vendor rating system. So when you upload your product on a GEM platform, आपको ratings मिलती है out of 5. That is based on your quality of product, delivery, feedback which you receive, right? So जितना आपका rating ज़्यादा होगा, उतना आपको business ज़्यादा आएगा. New product suggestion facility available to the seller. If your category, if your product is not available on GEM platform, you may request to GEM to create your category or to create your product on GEM platform. So while uploading your product, you will get this option to convey a message or to request a GEM to add your product. Seller-friendly dashboard for selling and monitoring of supplies and payments. So you will get a dashboard. You can monitor your account from this dashboard. You can check the product delivery, when it's happened, on which day your product is got delivered, and when you will receive the payment. You can check it from your seller login, that is called seller dashboard. News and event section for regular updates. So आप जब GEM portal में login करते हैं, on the front side you will be able to see the latest updates, latest functionalities, latest features of GEM. On the homepage of GEM, you will be able to find the recently added categories of product. That is the option called new on gem. Next, hierarchy when you registered on a gem platform. So whenever you register on gem platform, the signing authority of Form 16 has to be registered as a primary user on gem platform. A primary user can create a secondary users to give the role like bid participation, product upload, processing order, and payment confirmation. If one man is managing all these things, for example, proprietorship, you have you can create, but this is only optional. So you can set all the roles to you only. So there is no need to create a secondary user. So these are only options provided to the big organizations, big companies. Now all the products we have formulated in quadrants. So I'll explain this category driven catalog management system. Quadrant 1 is basically for only OEMs, only original equipment manufacturers. Quadrant 2 for OEMs and their authorized resellers. Quadrant 3, OEMs and or their authorized resellers concurrently. Quadrant for OEMs as well as by any resellers also. Quadrant 5, this is for self-help groups only. Self-help groups can register as a seller and they can upload the product, but not as an OEM. Quadrant 6, exclusively for OD/OP category, wherein OEMs can upload the catalog. Resellers will be able to pair the catalog with OEM's catalog. Mandatory certifications, licenses, test reports, and other specific certification wherever applicable to be mentioned, selected by buyer during the catalog uploader. So while uploading the catalog, if the product is requires certain specification or licenses, you have to mandatorily update that. You have to mandatorily submit that. GEM's trust-based system and self-declaration is the key, along with a strong automated process to penalize any deviation here on far side of the sellers as well as at the buyer side. So if deviation occurs while listing the product on GEM at pre-contract stage during the bidding or at post-contract stage on GEM, the mechanism for reporting and initiating action on such deviation has been detailed in the incident management policy. I'll explain in the next slide what is incident management policy. So before that, I'll be explaining about the ratings. So as I discussed, that a seller will get a rating based on their delivery, quality, reliability, and user feedback. Fake and inactive sellers will be viewed out, hence ensuring only genuine sellers get to do a business with government. A strong vendor rating system will reward a good performance of sellers by giving them an opportunity for more business. They will also be able to improve upon their rating by focusing on specific areas like delivery, quality, reliability, and user feedback. We also have a rating for buyer. A strong buyer rating system will reward a good performance by the buyer and more sellers who would like to do a business with highly rated buyers. Buyers will be able to attract better prices from sellers as more sellers would like to do a business with highly rated buyers. So which are the parameters for buyers for the ratings? That is timely bid closure, timely order placing, timely acceptance, and very important, timely payment. So once the product got delivered to the buyer will get a 10 days of time to accept and reject that product. Post that, they have to make the payment after 10 days. So once the product got delivered as a seller, you will receive the payment after 20 days. Within 20 days, you can. Now, incident management policy. So incident management can be used for buyers and sellers to raise the issue for any pre-order placement or post-order placement. So pre-order placement incident management will deal with deviation in the product catalog, seller registration, seller authorization. So once you visit our GEM portal, you'll be able to see a lot of products available on it. If you find any deviation in terms of specification or pricing, you will get an option beside that product called report this product. By clicking on that, you can just raise a complaint or you can see incident against that particular product. We also have a post-order placement incident management will deal with the contract deviation by the seller. So if you find any deviation after the contract is done, that is buyer is not making the payment on time or anything like that. So in your account, in your dashboard, you get an option for incident. From there, you can raise the incident from your account. Once incident is raised from your account, buyer will get a 7 days of time to resolve the issue. If it is not resolved, he will get escalated to the higher authority of them. So in terms of order, bid, and catalog, you'll get an option to raise incidents. So this is the, you can say the, process for the raising the incident. So once you raise the incident, that is reporting the incident, he will get, show cause notice get, published to the buyer, and he'll get a 7 days of time to resolve. If it is not resolved, you can escalate that. Once you escalate, our team will get investigate, and based on the investigation, action will be taken on that particular buyer or seller. And then the incident will get resolved. Now, price reasonability tools at the buyer end, buyer has certain reasonability tools, like you can check the particular product price by clicking on a price trend option. So you'll be able to check the last 6 months price of the particular product. They also have buyer also have option to compare the products, like we do it in a L1 purchase. Buyer also have an option called purchase history. In that, he can click on the purchase history option beside that particular product, and he can view the last 6 months purchase department names with the price. So vendor assessment by QCI. So GEM has tie-up with QCI, that is third party, that is Quality Council of India. So GEM mandates the OEM sellers to establish their credential and fast track their sales by getting pre-assessed by Quality Council of India. So for the OEMs, doing the QCI vendor assessment is mandatory. So QCI, as I said, is the third party, Quality Council of India. So basically, when in vendor assessment, QCI checks the vendor profile, financial capacity, and technical details of the item to be offered on GEM as per the prescribed format. So once your vendor assessment is done on your product, one green color tag will appear, that is called VSS. So when buyer purchasing a product, he can click on the particular tag and he'll get some information. So this is basically a tag of, you can say, a genuinity, right? Assurance to the buyer that the product is genuine, right? So I will suggest that better to go for a vendor assessment if you are not an OEM as well. For services also, we do future verification, like we do the verification of particular company, like company name, validity, date for which license has been issued. We also check the previous experience of that particular service provider, like department name, order number, project value, project duration, etc. Validation time is 3 working days. We also have so many services available on GEM platform. As I said, more than 290 services available on GEM platform, like vehicle hiring services, human resource outsourcing, goods transportation, cleaning and sanitization, security manpower services, professional services, IT services, canteen catering services, laundry services, data and voice services, call center services, daily and calendar services. So we have more than 290 plus. These are the major services are on the GEM platform. We also connected to classrooms, webinars, like we are today, like we are on webinar, master trainer programs happens. We also have live videos on YouTube. We also have LMS option. In that, you'll get all the material for registration purpose or for a profile updation, for catalog upload, bid participation. So everything you will get in on LMS. LMS option is available on the GEM portal, bottom side of that portal. We also have a GEMI option. So assistant response to the buyer and seller queries automatically. This option is available on the GEM platform. This is basically a chatbot. There's 25/7 a chatbot available to you. So we also have a FAQs option on a GEM portal, that is frequently asked questions. So if you have any queries, if you want answer of that particular questions, so you just go to the FAQs option. So many topics are there. You can select your topic, and in that particular topic, question answer is there. So you can select that. You can connect it GEM to our call center team, that is available on Monday to Saturday, 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. That is number 1800-102-3446, 1800-419-3446. We also have a helpdesk email ID, that is helpdesk-gem@redview.in. And this is our given Tara building address in Delhi office. We also, on social media like Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, LinkedIn, and Fox. Now I'll quickly, explain the registration process. So as a seller or service provider, you can register on GEM with the PAN or with your personal Aadhaar. So this is also a personal PAN. So I'll just quickly explain the registration process. So for that, you have to log into the GEM portal, that is www.gm.euro.in. Then you have to click on the option called sign up. In sign up, you will get an option called sellers. So you have to select the option called sellers. After that, you have to enter your organization type. Then there is an option called view prerequisite or documents. So you just have to tick mark all the prerequisites required, like Aadhaar or personal PAN, active email ID, business plan, bank account number, income tax returns, details, registered address, etc. After that, you have to click on the proceed button. Next page, next step, there will be a page of terms and conditions. You have to accept against terms and conditions. After that, you have to click on the proceed button. Then after that, you will again get the option to enter your proprietorship organization type, like proprietorship company, right? Then you have to enter your organization name. You have to reconfirm your organization name. Make a note that once you enter your organization, you cannot edit afterwards. So be careful while entering your organization name. After that, you have to click on the next button. After that, you get an option to register via two ways, like Aadhaar, personal Aadhaar or personal PAN. Here I'm giving example of personal PAN. Once you select the personal PAN, you have to enter your PAN number, name as on PAN, mobile number, date of birth. So on your mobile number, you will receive an OTP. You have to verify that. After that, once the OTP is got verified, then in next step, you have to enter your email ID. You have to re-enter your email ID on which you will receive an OTP immediately. So within 10 minutes of time, you have to enter that OTP and verify. After this verification, you will get an option to create your user ID and password. Password has to be, minimum 8 characters, one uppercase, one lowercase, one digit, and one special character is mandatory. Maximum of 16 characters. These are you can create your user ID password. I'll also explain how you registered with the Aadhaar, personal Aadhaar. So for that, you have to log into the GEM, www.gm.euro.in. After that, you have to click on the sign up option, then sailors. Then you have to enter your organization type. Prerequisites like Aadhaar, email ID, business plan, bank account, income tax returns, registered address. You have to just tick mark and click on the proceed button. After that, in the next page, you'll get an option to read terms and conditions of GEM. You have to accept that. You can read and you can accept that. After that, you have to click on the proceed button. Once again, you will get an option to enter your organization name. After that, you will get the option to enter your personal Aadhaar details. So you have to enter your personal Aadhaar details and Aadhaar linked mobile number. From that, you get an OTP. You have to enter that OTP within 10 minutes of time. After that, you have to click on the next button. Then you have to enter your email ID. You will get an OTP within 10 minutes of time. You have to enter that. And after that, you get an option to create your user ID and password. So that's all from my side. If you have any questions, please ask. I'm happy to answer. Thank you.
Thank you, Nikhil. So I invite a few questions from the audience at Bike as well as people who have attended here. So if you have any question, please feel free to ask Nikhil. Nikhil, just wanted to ask as I earlier mentioned that there have been multiple changes. So is there anything which has happened over last 6 to 9 months in terms of any major change in terms of process or something which you generally call new features? So is there anything you can talk about that particular thing?
Yeah, surely. In terms of MSMEs, in filter, previously there is only two options are available. That is all and SUSC. Now we also started woman option available. So as a buyer, and if you wanted to buy any product only through woman MSME, so you got a filter available over there. Also, we have started a customized bid in the last 1 year, customized bid, or you can say BOP we have started. Recently, we have started PPP, push button document, that I already explained in the presentation. So many small changes are there, keep on happening on the GEM platform. So but these are the major changes which have happened in the last 1 year.
One more question I see is someone asking that, um, the websites are individual website are using GEM logo to sort of authenticate themselves as a right seller. So is it trustworthy in terms of you allow these kind of logos to go on private websites? So maybe the question could be something like where a seller who's on GEM platform is also having its own microsite and then using GEM logo to say that, okay, I'm an authorized or you're the authentic sort of a seller on the GEM portal, and you can directly buy from us as well because we supply to through GEM as well. So you think, I mean, that way people can create more brand visibility? Is it legal, or is just that people can use the logo? How is it that?
Sir, I have checked that so many people on visiting card on their portal, they are in presentations also they are using our portal. That logo is available on GEM portal itself. Okay, so
Okay.
I don't think so. Any objection is there because anyways.
No, I think the question,
more,
Nikhil, I think the question probably was that, some people may misuse that identity in the sense, because see, if I go on a website and try to buy something, say a computer part, and
right.
And there is a GEM logo on prominently, visible on the, so I may feel, okay, this is an authentic website and let me buy. But I may not find that kind of good experience through those websites. So while you say that the logo is available, but the logo is so powerful, then probably people can misuse it also.
Yes, there are chances, but need to check that this is allowed or not. But I can say that logo is available on the portal as well. So I just said that I already said that people are using on the visiting card on their websites that are logo in presentations as well, right? So I don't think so. There is no objection from the game side yet because I not came across any issue with pertaining to this logo. Okay, even this logo it was not available, so it may be a different shape. So directly GEM has placed that option, that logo, so you can download from that GEM portal that particular logo from our portal. So I don't think so any objection. Anyway,
Okay.
creating a more visibility and branding of GEM. Right?
Okay. Okay. And someone is asking, I think you probably have answered this, how do reseller and service providers register? Which quadrant category does it fall under? What is the verification process for them?
So quadrants are defined by GEM higher authorities. So it's not like that कि मेरा product is quadrant में चाहिए, मेरा product this is for quadrant में चाहिए. So that is already defined by GEM. Especially then GEM you can say GEM higher authorities that this product will come in this quadrant only. So there is no option. There is no choice. Your product it would be in particular in a quadrant. So you don't have an option to change the quadrant, right, sir?
Right. Yeah, but I think probably they're saying that if they are a reseller, then in which quadrant category? How do they figure out where do they?
Yes. So in quadrant one, basically, vehicles and medicines comes in quadrant one. So only OEMs can register in quadrant one. In quadrant two, OEMs and their authorized dealers, right? Authorized, you can say, sellers. In quadrant three, OEMs and authorized dealers concurrently. So it depends on the product, they can check it out and which quadrant they are fits in. So once they upload the catalog, that option will appear.
Okay, I hope Shamla ji that answers your questions. If not, maybe you can drop in another and we will check later on. Anyone else would like to ask, any more questions from Nikhil?
Deepak, I just wanted to add on this, when you were talking about the logo part, the companies probably using the logo. I would also like to apprise the audience here. Probably Nikhil can, talk better on that, because there are also websites, which have been created for registration of GEM. So one has to be very careful in, using the right web link for registration of GEM. That is very important, because there are 2-3 sites which I also saw is actually functioning, stating of GEM registration. So probably that needs to be addressed here. Second aspect, I just wanted to ask Nikhil, because once you showed us the registration process by using PAN and Aadhaar. My second question is, after you get the registration done, there is, I believe, you also have to build the profile page, and that's a separate, separate process altogether, and it's a bit lengthy. So, are you doing anything to make it simple, or bring that process little faster? So that's one question. Second, of course, the third question probably is on. There is also bidding process. So when does the bid process work? And if you can just explain a bit on that.
Yeah, totally, Hemantji. So I would like to answer first that, as Hemant sir said, there are so many fraud websites are available on the in the market. So be careful, because GEM is not charging any fees for registration for the sailors or service providers. So these are the websites they are charging. So this is not created by GEM. Okay. So be careful. So I am again and again saying that gem.gov.in, these are URL. So we only charge, we do not charge, we only take a deposit from the sailors. That is called a caution money. And once your account gets closed in future, so we'll refund that amount. So other than that, we don't charge any fees or something like that. Okay. Now coming back to the first question of Hemant sir, that yes, profile updation process is I find it's very simple and easy. Because of time limitation, I have not covered that. But we are still working on that to make it very comprehensive or small and sweet, you can say. Second question, with respect to the bid participation, all the material for the PPTs are available on GEM platform in training option. In training model is there. In that you will get all the PPTs with respect to the registration, profile update, catalog upload, and bid participation. So everything is available. Without login also you can download that thing. Okay.
Right. So I was just asking, my third question was on the bidding process. So when does that bidding process comes in place? When companies really have to bid, and what's the process for the sellers to do that?
So as I said, now that PPT is available. Because of time limitation, I have not covered that, the bid process and bid participation.
Sure. No problem. Right. Thank you.
Deepak ji, we cannot hear you.
Deepak, you're on mute.
Deepak ji, you're on mute.
Hey, I'm just refreshing the bike page to just see if we have any questions further in it. Otherwise, anyways, no question out there. So thank you, Nikhil, for giving us an overview of GEM. Probably we need to do one more a bigger detailed session now to just see that what are the recent changes have happened, and then what needs to be done further. So we'll connect with you again. But for the time being, thank you for joining us today and sharing your presentation with us on what's happening and how GEM is progressing. So thanks a lot.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
So we'll move on to our next presenter, and I would invite Akash Chaturvedi, who's the founder and CEO of Rebel Corp, to give his brief presentation. He's been working with some of the exporter community to build certain tools, web tools. So we thought that we can share some of those with our members as well. So over to you, Akash, for your brief presentation.
Sure. Thank you so much, Deepak ji. And firstly, thank you for this amazing opportunity to get to interact with some wonderful, upcoming MSME and SME businesses. And I think what we're hoping to present next will be hopefully very, very useful and can genuinely help in impacting a lot of different businesses through what technology we're able to provide and our entire vision to make sure that this technology stays not only in the hands for technocrats, but also made accessible and available easily for everyone. So that being said, I'll quickly start by just presenting my screen to introduce, Rebel Corp, the startup which I have built and is basically India's all-in-one simplest website builder. So you can let me know once my screen is visible.
It's visible. You can go ahead.
Great. So, firstly, so just to give you a little bit of background, for many of those people who are trying to, get websites or get online, you will notice that there's tons of different options and technologies out there. And we were in that boat wherein we had been doing development for the last half decade or so for using all different technologies. And usually what would happen is, the problem and challenge we would face with most business owners and operators, regardless of their sector, most of the ones which are not tech in nature would not have enough people to help in managing and doing the websites. And usually this is a really sad thing because what happens is in today's day and age, we are always constantly trying to improve our processes, automate, get these kind of tools and technologies and processes in place so that our life for our can be easier, and also the amount of time to respond to customers and address their questions and challenges needs to be done using easier possible way. So website at the end of the day is your first entry point in your business, whether you're looking to do e-commerce or even if you're looking to get inquiries of your website. Today, I think most of the people know that if you're not, present on the web, you're basically dead, because I think the amount of traffic, the amount of reach that you get, and how internet has made the world so accessible today. In a post-COVID environment, I think we can all understand that we all need to have this website ready, and it's not no more on the basis that you just needed to have it there and alive. You needed to be there to be working for you, to have it fully intelligent, automated, and to be able to work on your behalf, even when customers are coming from all over the world and looking and examining your site, your products. And you basically use that entire thing to as an ecosystem from where you can connect with your customers. That being said, the reason why we started Rebel Corp was to, as I said in the start, to help make technology more easier and accessible for everyone. So the main difference between this technology and anything else that's available today in the market is that it is a lot simpler and it's based on softwares that we already know. So the idea was when we started Rebel Corp, we used to make websites to help people in, helping them create this identity, manage and grow. And based on these three things, we basically divide. We used to traditionally, when make websites, we would attach lots of different softwares, plug them into your customers. And usually most people would not know how to operate them or would have to buy additional subscriptions. So here, what Rebel Corp does by making it easy is that it helps you in providing all of the different tools that you're going to need to create, manage, and grow all in one place in one subscription. So you don't have to go out and get various different things. And the way you can easily do this is by building it yourself or by hiring an expert to build it for you. And eventually the idea is that you can manage this web presence for yourself in the easiest possible manner. So that being said, how Rebel Corp actually operates, we have tons of different templates. So with the help of the templates, depending on what sector you are in, right? Today, whether you're looking to have an online store or even a presence website. So many MSME who are exporters or these kind of businesses wherein they're not selling one-off pieces online can also start taking inquiries. And that is basically in a way also a very important part of growing your business, because your website helps you create and collect a database from where you can easily grow your customer base by engaging with them, by interacting with them all through this platform. And this can be done in such a way wherein somebody in your organization with the skill sets of PowerPoint, Word, or Excel will be able to run and manage this entire thing. So depending again on what sector you are, you can preview. We have tons of different themes and templates which are easy to edit, easy to use, depending on again what kind of sector you are in, whether you're an exporter, whether you're a MSME startup, you're doing anything. The idea is that this becomes a great starting point if you do not have a website, or if you currently don't even have made your own website. So if you're like a furniture manufacturer, for instance, you can see that this website is a great starting point for me. If I don't have anything, I can easily edit this, and it formats for your tablet, phone, all of these things as well. So for the sake of this example, and to give you a quick run through of what exactly, when we talk about complete end-to-end solution that Ravelcorp is able to provide for SMEs and MSMEs, is on the software, basically making changes, editing websites today, is as easy as editing a PPT. So if I want to change this headline to "Come buy our chairs today," it's literally that simple to be able to make changes and edit to the website. So it is genuinely, and the minute I preview this, you can see that the changes all reflect real time. So whatever I've changed, it's visible from everywhere, from anywhere part of the world. Your customers to make changes to the website, that reliance which you used to have on an IT professional in your organization, you do not have that, because it is easily done using this platform, which anybody who has access to the website will be able to edit and change it. Even to change up images, it's very simple. You simply hit edit image, and you can actually change up the image the same way we upload files on a Google Drive. So today, to run and manage your website, you do not need a whole dedicated IT team. You can actually do it by using technology like Ravelcorp, which is super easy to use, edit, you can manage, you can do all of the things from here. So whatever my objective of my website is, whether I'm looking to start purchasing the product, you can actually set up e-commerce and sell those products also from here. If I'm looking to even take inquiries for those products, you should easily be able to kind of set up and take inquiries, do all of these things in one place, and you'll easily be able to run and manage this whole website. So it starts with anything that from where your customers get to interact with you. And the best part is, on this system, you'll be able to use a end-to-end automated solution. So basically what I mean by that is, you have all the different tools also inbuilt here. So editing obviously is just the tip of the iceberg. What's happening on your website today is that customers are trying to interact with you at every given point of time. So you should easily be able to take those inquiries and turn them into potential leads for your business. So your website is on 365 days a year, and 24/7. So your customers, wherever they are, if they want to purchase, if they want to do it, our builder allows you to actually take a whole CRM tool, through which we have tutorials in place to help you in navigating and understanding how you can be useful for you. But every inquiry, every sale that's done, it is helping you create a customer database, which is one of the most important things, because where you promote your business on other platforms, you can sell them on various different places. The idea is that that data needs to really come back to you. And this is where softwares like these will be very useful. We ourselves are also coming back to the point what Ma'am had made earlier about ONDC. We will be interacting and getting involved with the entire ONDC network as well. So we are one of the enablers here who will be able to basically take these inquiries on your behalf and turn those into potential databases and everything. So you can just basically open this up, all right? And I'll be able to see that, you can see that every inquiry that's coming, every purchase that's being done, you can easily collect that data and actually monitor through it right from here. So you don't have to additionally purchase more softwares. You'll be able to use this same software and be able to do it all by yourself. As well as, once you start getting this database, from people, you can also look into selling these products from all over the world. So we have helped, currently working with FIO and various different organizations, help exporters to collect and take inquiries from customers all over the world right through this platform. Additionally, once you start getting orders and you start getting inquiries, you should be able to reach back to them, because what happens is a customer might not purchase today, but as long as they've inquired, you can nurture them and continue to do it using the same tools that are available here, like an email marketing software. So email marketing, by having it inbuilt onto our system, makes it super easy to actually reach back to customers, to tell them about what is it that you're doing, in case you're launching a new product, in case you're launching a new service, in case you're having, the idea is that you as a business are unique. You're doing something new every day. And the only way for you to help grow that business, even whether you're B2C or you're B2B. The idea is that you should be able to communicate and engage with your customers in order to turn them into and to continue to do business with them. That can be even for existing customers. By having that database is what makes the difference, and to have the ability to reach them all, probably hundreds or thousands of your customers in one click, is where this software helps in creating this entire system, which is not only easy to run, but also is really powerful because it can help you in automating of various processes and all of these kind of things. For instance, we've had tremendous amount of MSME exporters in India to actually automate their entire brochures from their website through this platform, to actually, every time an inquiries come, automatically a brochure is sent to that same customer whose details have been collected. Traditionally, we would rely on an individual to probably reach out to the customer and everything, but technology is about making it easier. So this is where one of these things is just one example of many where we've been able to implement this and make a huge difference for the community of exporters. And we also will be able to the entire thing is that for whatever it is that you have to do, eventually the idea is that you will be able to do it yourself, and without worrying about any tech experts to help you out, because the entire technical side of it is being handled by us. We help with the entire part, like from the hosting, all these other parts with the domain. To you, the end user, the entire website feels as simply as a PPT. And to help you in mastering the platform, we also have this whole academy, which is completely free to use. So you can learn. We've developed a whole course, in fact, from where there's video series available, from where you should be able to learn about how you can create, manage your website effectively. And this entire course, which is available, is also being taught currently in various universities in India, like Mumbai University, DR Patil universities, as a subject for non-tech students. In BCom, in various different streams. So you will have a huge influx of trained individuals who you can employ and take straight from the colleges to be able to run and manage your entire tech infrastructure for you without having to spend on an additional resource for that. So that, in a long and short, explains what the Revelcop platform does. It enables e-commerce, even businesses. And again, we've worked with several different sectors before. We've, whether it was small startups, MSMEs, exporters, even stockbrokers for that matter. Today, we've been used by several different industries and brokers. So the idea is that you can create, utilize it, and have the power in your own hands today to directly let your customers interact with you and manage this entire thing all by yourself. So I think that kind of covers up basically a whole introduction to what the Revelcop platform is, how it can be useful and beneficial. How it also works, just coming back to that part, is also that there is a very easy subscription which you can pick up and get access to this whole thing. And the idea is that this cost includes the cost of your whole infrastructure and managing of that infrastructure in easiest possible manner. So I think that's basically, in terms of what Revelcop has built so far. We also have solutions available for those who are in the export space. So not only do today we've evolved from a simple website builder tool, but we also have solutions from where you should be able to integrate more specialized solutions for your website. So for instance, we have an entire export management solution, which is available for people today. So this is the entire documentation software with an integrated website. So what does that mean is that while the website will help you collect those orders, through the help of this export ERP, it is integrated onto your website so that all the orders and inquiries that are coming, you can easily start doing the documentation in a easy, simple way to start shipping those orders out to your customers. So this is a complete end-to-end solution which comes with a website and an ERP. And it's the first of its kind, which is a documentation software, which is available as a SaaS-based and a subscription-based. So you do not have to, like traditionally, like how we pick up SAP or these kind of huge softwares, wherein the license fees alone start at 60 lakhs. This is a simple subscription at 5,000 rupees a month, where you can start getting a whole website and an ERP, which allows you to do right from pre-shipment to post-shipment documentation. If you're looking at doing order tracking, e-documentation, as well as a whole ERP integration, which is available right from here and available into your website. So you'll be able to do all of these things using any other products, and it's been traditionally used by lots of different massive players also who are on the software. And we also have a whole demo and a trial available from where you can use this software, you can try playing around with it, and you should be able to take care of your entire documentation process, which was one of the most critical challenge for any SME and MSME exporter, is that the documentation usually was one of the hardest process which used to happen, which we've been able to make a lot easier today through this thing. And it's very easy to basically run and manage this entire platform and get ready from there. So I'll just kind of take a quick pause now and open up if there are any questions or anything else possibly that anyone would like to know about our platform or our products, or any other expertise where I can be able to help in.
Thank you, Akash. Interesting, web tool. I can tell you that with our experience, and when we also go and check a company's, sort of profile or anything else we want to check, the first step is to type in the web address. And if web address is not present or is not nicely present, it always raises question. And not that all MSMEs can probably do it because of various constraints, but I think the kind of tool you have makes it more cost effective for every MSMEs to at least have a decent looking, decent information centric presence to begin with. And then they can always look at going upward, talking about those export management solution if they are in export, and looking at doing various adoption of various tools. So thank you very much for giving us an overview of how you are trying to make life easier for smaller companies to make their presence felt online. I don't see actually any question on it, because probably this was more of a product centric thing. But anyway, you can share your contact details or email, and then whoever wants to get in touch with you, they can get in touch. But thank you for sharing your thoughts with us today.
My pleasure. Thank you so much for the audience. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So we'll move on to our next and the last presenter. And I actually asked Akash to do this before, because probably I felt that because our next presenter will also be talking about from a branding perspective, from social media presence perspective, from web perspective, a lot of perspectives she's going to touch in her talk. So let me introduce Monica Jasuja, who's going to give us the next talk for us on this digital session. And she's a digital strategist and fintech thought leader. Monica, has extensive experience across various countries, including US, Taiwan, Indonesia, Singapore, and has played a prominent roles in Fortune 500 companies, which are ranging from high growth tech startups. And she specializes in developing cutting edge digital financial solution for a very diverse user group. So we hope that we'll be able to get some sense of what's happening and what MSMEs can achieve by digitalization and digitization both, and its impact on their business. So over to you, Monica.
Thank you so much for this opportunity, and I hope that the last session will be the most enjoyable one, and we are able to actually
do hope
the
so.
audience.
That's right. Yeah.
Absolutely. So let's get started. You're able to see my screen? All good?
Yes, all good.
Excellent. So let's get, actually, I need to stop and share again. I realize there's an error. 1 minute. Okay. I think we should be able to get started now. So thank you, everyone. And I hope that today I'll be able to take you on the journey with some actionable insights on what you can do to digitally transform your business, and of course, be able to leverage the skills and experience of whatever digital offers in today's times. And I'll be giving you a small glimpse on what digital transformation can do. And of course, some of the worries of why you even need to think about digital transformation. So let's get started. First, about me, I'm Monica Jasuja. As the introduction has already been given, I'm extremely passionate about digital, and I have been working in this space for quite a while. Now I specialize also in being able to help digital businesses be able to not only get more business leads and be able to transform what they do, but also with associated go-to-market and product-related strategies in the digital world, where there are a lot of funding and tech-related, I would say, challenges that are being faced by almost every size of business. So why are we here? First of all, as far as the top objectives for MSMEs is concerned, one of the recent reports that which was a survey which was conducted for 1,000 SMBs in India, reported that 44% of SMBs wanted to expand their customer base, 43% wanted to increase their business revenue and their customer base, and 42% wanted to add new products and services to their portfolio. Now, these are the main objectives of almost all business owners, and I'm sure that this would definitely resonate with you. Now, we are using creative marketing and tech solutions that will drive longevity and growth in the business. And this happens to be the main lever that is used by all business owners in order to attract more clients, whether it is B2B or it is B2C. But the question is, how are these small and medium businesses actually looking at innovating and adopting tech and marketing solutions? And why do they even need to do so? Now, this survey gave us a very good insight into what the reasons were. Now, what is interesting here is that a lot of you will be able to directly identify and echo the same sentiments, which is 36% of them wanted to build brand loyalty, 35% wanted to nurture existing customer relationships, 29% wanted to invest in combining marketing and sales into a single platform. 28% and near about the same wanted to market to a domestic audience, versus the same percentage wanted to market to an international audience. And then, of course, building brand recall was on top of mind for 25% of the people. Now, almost half of the small business owners and the decision makers associated with these small business owners said that they wanted to have creative solutions, and this was very important to their marketing strategy. But 91% said that they faced challenges with creative marketing solutions. Now, 2 in every 5 small and medium businesses are considering tech to innovate. Whether it is marketing automation, it is AI, or it is online communities, all of them wanted to know more about the space and are looking at active solutions. Now, why are we even discussing what we are today? Because digital transformation has the potential to unlock and revolutionize your entire business. And this may seem like a very lofty goal to begin with, but it's actually actionable. You can not only do and take actions today, but I hope that I will leave you with key insights that will help you drive and start the progress towards this journey today. So I wanted to start off by talking about what Satya Nadella, who is the CEO of Microsoft, happens to be an Indian and of course has been in the news recently. He has said that digital transformation is not just about technology. It is about reimagining your entire company. It is about changing the way you do business, delivering value to your customers in new and exciting ways. Therefore, while digital transformation happens to be a very lofty keyword that has been used in conjunction with a lot of technology related use, it is actually much more insightful when you start thinking about how it can help and benefit your business and end customers, instead of thinking of this only as a technology mission that you need to adopt in order to grow your business. It is much more than technology. It is definitely the use of technology, but it is reimagining how you conduct business. Now, before we get into what these actionable insights are and what I will request you to start doing today, I wanted to cover a little bit of base on what this digital transformation benefits would be, not only for you, but also for your business. First of all, improved efficiency. You can automate a lot of tasks. You can improve the communication between yourself and the end customer, whether it is a business or a consumer. You can streamline processes, both operationally as well as management, and you can increase efficiency and productivity. Enhanced customer experience not only helps better the customer engagement, it also creates new sales and marketing channels and helps in increasing customer satisfaction and loyalty. And last, the new opportunities that we all need to leverage on in this new era, where we are not only challenged by increasing interest rates, melting global economies, and of course recession related fears. We also need to reach new markets. We want to develop new products and services. We want to collaborate with other businesses where global boundaries do not anyways exist, and we want opportunities for growth and innovation. This makes digital transformation an important lever for you. This is not a nice to have. It is actually a must have for your business, and you have to take action today. Now, I actually define, because we are living in the land where there are a lot of mnemonics that are created, which actually help with a lot of recognition and recall of important as well as complex processes and thinking. That's why I basically coined a mnemonic, which is SPEC. So the pillars of digital transformation that I wanted to speak to you about today were 4, and these will be: build your social media presence for your business, develop your own personal brand as the main proprietor and therefore the brain, the heart, and the mind of the business. You need to have a very, very strong personal brand to emphasize you as the authority in the space. Use emerging technology, which are great levers for you to not only adopt but also be able to reduce cost and therefore increase efficiency, be able to meet project timelines within the budget, resources, and time related constraints that we are now seeing. And we want to cultivate communities to connect meaningfully with your audience. So the 4 pillars that we will be focusing on in the next 10 to 15 minutes are going to be: social media presence, develop your social brand or your personal brand, use emerging technology, and cultivate communities. Now, how do you build your social media presence? Now, this is a very, very easy thing to do when most people who are living, like many of us, as well as millennials and Gen Z and Gen Ys, are actually living on social media. But it seems to be a big, big challenge when you're starting out. So why do you even need social media for business? Now, India being one of the primary countries, and you would be surprised to know that it is one of the largest countries, in fact, the biggest country for WhatsApp in the world. It also happens to have the maximum number of users on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, which are based out of, Facebook and Instagram, which are based out of India, only after the US. Now, as far as LinkedIn is concerned, it is another community which is completely considered professional and is crossing about 900 million users. The average time that an Indian user spends on their mobile is in excess of 6 hours a day. And this includes, and the most apps that are used or by an Indian person on their phone happens to be social media and happens to be gaming. Now, if you're one of us who is working full time, who does not have the time to indulge in social media or doesn't understand the need for social media for business, then I would leave you with this. Social media is not just a means to be able to communicate, have fun, obviously see a lot of videos and get entertained. It is also a very meaningful way for your business to connect with like-minded people such as you and me in a meaningful way which they are looking for. So how can you use social media for business? You need to unlock the potential to be able to engage, connect, and grow your business. It is not something we just do for entertainment. Now, choosing the right social media platform becomes an important question that you would be asking yourself. Why everybody is spending time on Facebook? That's only for being able to connect with people for remembering their birthdays. Instagram is only for photos. LinkedIn is only for professional updates. But that is actually not the case. So a couple of quick like a checklist that you can use in order to determine which is the right social media platform for you and your business would be: who is your target audience? What social media is your audience most active on? Why are they using it? For example, if you are a retail store or you are managing a business which is mostly offline, or you are in the service industry, most of your users would be using, and most of your audience would actually be looking for meaningful connections on perhaps LinkedIn. If you were a D2C brand, you, however, would find all your audience on Instagram, because that is where we go now in order to search for what is most fashionable, what is being used by others, and therefore what is of interest to me. You would find all your Gen Z, Gen Ys, etc. on Instagram. On the other hand, a lot of the people who are using social media for professional networking would be on LinkedIn. So question for you would be, where is my target audience? How do I go and find them? Secondly, what is the type of content type and format that your audience will find engaging? Do they find visual nuggets and visual content very engaging? Do they like videos? Do they like short form? Do they like long form? Do they want to be educated by how and you do your business and why your business can actually help them through videos and informational webinars? Or do they like to actually read news about the industry? Based on the kind of content, you can actually decide on which social media platform will be right for you. YouTube is another very, very big platform. In fact, number of Indian users on YouTube and the monetization aspects of for Indian creators has been growing month on month. And this is again another engagement platform which keeps people hooked for more than an hour a day. Third would be analytics and insights. I think all of us understand the need for conversion. We understand clicks, we understand marketing budgets, which we are spending on digital channels. But do you know that there are a lot of platforms, including social media platforms, that actually offer wide analytics and insights for your kind of users? Who do you need to target? How do you need to target them? Do you have the team who understands these analytics and insights to be able to support the growth and innovation needs of your business? Which platform will be able to provide that? And last, competitive analysis. If you have competitors who are on a particular platform, you must ask yourself the question, should I be on the same platform? Do I need to have a different edge and therefore bring my audience to another platform? So choosing the right social media platform is a very, very critical decision that you need to take as a business owner. Now, another lever that I consider, which is very interconnected, almost complementing what I have just discussed, which is about your business presence, is actually about your own presence. Now, you as a business owner typically do not have the time. You have thousands of things that you are responsible for. You need to make hundreds of decisions in a day. However, do you know that you are the brand of the business? You are the one who inspires the trust for customers to come in and therefore want to have business with you. You are the reason why there are leads that open up. And if we do not capitalize on the person that is you, on the brand that you represent as yourself, who is trustworthy, authentic, and therefore credible, then why will anybody want to do business with you? This is the one thing that we tend to compromise on when we are building our own businesses, which is, who am I and why should anybody conduct business with me? Now, developing a personal brand is about unleashing the authentic you. It is about boosting your business's success. It is not about show off. It is not about becoming the next influencer, Instagram influencer, fashion influencer. It is not about that. It is about being able to showcase the person that is you, who is the face of the business and who has created this business in order to solve customers' problems. Now, in a large set of people, your brand can actually help you stand out. And when you do stand out, it actually creates opportunities for you. These opportunities may not be direct business leads, but they actually lead to business leads that can come via the means to engage on social media, on webinars, on even in media, television, and in newspapers, where you get featured and therefore your business gets prominence and visibility. And once that happens, you automatically generate business through this process. Therefore, standing out is again an important need for you, and this is not something that you can put on the back burner. Now, a very important quote that I'm sure that you have heard a lot will help you also understand what the difference is between a personal brand and thought leadership. Your brand is what other people say about you when you're not in the room. Thought leadership is what you say to make sure that they are saying the right things. Now, a brand will help you establish what people know about you, how much they know about you. But thought leadership will be able to give you the control that you want to have in order for people to know what you're all about and being able to control that narrative. Now, in today's times, when a single social media post can actually destroy who you are or can make who you are by creating virality, you need to be in direct control of what is that thought leadership narrative that you are putting out for the world. What do you want your customers to know? How do you want your customers to see you as a business? And what do you want your customers to relate to you as a person, as a business owner? And that is where thought leadership and the strategy comes in. Now, this is something that I've been doing for quite a while, and I've been helping not only women who are returning to work, but also senior leaders in order to develop their thought leadership strategy. And this is something that I want to leave with you. These are 6 actionable insights that you can, again, learn from and start actioning on today in order to develop thought leadership strategy. The question that you have to answer is, what do I want to be known as? How do people look at my business, and how do they look at me associated with my business? So first is, you need to determine your niche. What are good thought leaders focusing on is an area of expertise, and then we stick to it. Now, what this means is that if you are in the business of a D2C, or if you are in the business of services, you need to be able to pick that particular niche up and talk about that on social media as if you own the space. So, of course, you are more than happy, and it's absolutely okay to talk about personal stuff, like you visited somewhere, you traveled somewhere. But depending on the social media platform that you pick, it's important that you mostly post about what your niche area is. So when people land on your profile, they are expecting to be expecting to be made to get knowledge, to learn something new from this, and more importantly, be able to create business opportunity for themselves. Therefore, please do not forget that social media is a tool for good. However, it is also something that can completely help you almost accelerate your business. So please use it wisely. Secondly, define your target audience. Are you speaking to other professionals in the field, or are you speaking to a broader audience? When you speak to a broader audience, you need to dilute the messages that you are providing to them so that they are able to understand what your business does and be able to translate this simplified messaging and be able to take it to your clients who might not be on social media and might not be reading your messages. On the other hand, if you're directly interacting with a lot of decision makers, with clients, with even suppliers, then you need to be able to speak that language and speak mostly that narrative. So it's very important and critical to know that who your TG is and speak to them. Third, you need to learn from peers. It's very important that you have an advisory board for yourself who is like a small personal board who advises you, listens to you, helps impart skills to you, you are able to go to them when there is a problem. But that also means that on social media, you are able to cultivate an audience, and you're able to cultivate this peer group who is talking about the same kind of message, and is thereby you are able to amplify each other and be able to build a community who benefits from each other. And in social media, it is not about me versus them. It is always about us, because if you as a set of people grow, then you will tend to be able to benefit each other and amplify your own voice to a larger audience. Fourth, you need to boost your industry presence. Now, as a MSME, not all of us will have marketing budgets to be able to directly indulge and be able to give budgets to ads, and not only ads, but to always be digitally available, to do advertising above the line and below the line. We have to be able to use the brand that we are in order to attract business leads. Therefore, you can boost your industry presence by opting and therefore raising your hand to speak at conferences, by trying to provide your point of view to appear in newspapers, and more importantly, do webinars, do podcasts. Today, there are infinite number of ways which are almost free using your hand phone in order to be available for your audience. The only thing that is actually stopping your voice and therefore your presence to reach others is if you don't choose to actually come in front of the camera or come in front of the mic, and you don't even need this fancy equipment. All you need is your phone. So please make sure that you pay attention to your message that you want to leave, and how can you appear in an authentic way without having to be too salesy about it. Last but not the least, in terms of 2 others, are stay current. It's very important for you to know what is exactly going on. How is competition facing up? What are the others in the industry doing? What do I need to learn from this, and how can I use this in order to boost my business? And you need to determine which are the best performing channels for you. Just like your marketing strategy is defined and you are able to evaluate the results and the performance of your marketing strategy. You need to have a thought leadership strategy. You need to be able to focus on these channels and then be able to optimize the performance on these channels so that you're able to reach this audience. So today, if I reach X number of engagement on my LinkedIn post, how much more do I need to do in order to reach a wider audience? And there is help available. Please note that you do not have to do everything yourself. There is enough help available that they will be able to guide you into this content creation. You don't need to be an influencer. All you need to do is be visible, and therefore even 1 or 2 posts a week is more than enough in order to be able to generate business. And if there are questions, happy to take that at the end of the session. Third, use emerging technology. Now, this is something which makes me very excited because there is a lot of chatter about ChatGPT, AI, how it's going to completely destroy jobs. And more importantly, we are going to all become dependent on machines. However, there is a more humane side to this technology, and more importantly, on how it creates opportunities for your business. So leverage the power of emerging technologies to drive innovation and efficiency. Do not be scared by the mammoth task that it is, but try to understand how the problem is getting solved and which solutions are out there. And today I will be presenting a unique solution to you as well. So in the survey that I spoke to you about earlier, 9 in 10 people acknowledge that ChatGPT-like tools can help with marketing for SMBs. Now, these are people like you. These are people like me. And we do acknowledge that means 90% of the people acknowledge that they want to use ChatGPT, but 42% of them say that they do not know enough. Now, instead of getting bogged down by what ChatGPT is, how these prompts are used, why they are used for business, depend on technology and depend on tools that can actually help you. Now, this tool that I'm presenting to you is actually by the government. And the government has innovated on this with the Bharat for AI, along with a language generator, which uses and is able to understand languages in India beyond Hindi and English. And they have been able to generate this amazing solution, which works on WhatsApp, and it actually helps small farmers who do not know anything else and may not even be literate. Now, this is a unique value proposition, which shows how emerging technology has been used to solve a unique problem. Let's actually watch this video. So I'll play it. It's about a 1.5-minute video. Let me know if you're able to hear it. So I'll start playing. And if it is audible, then please drop a message on the chat and I'll be monitoring that.
Jugalbandi is a chatbot that we built to solve 2 problems. One is this linguistic divide and the technological divide. We collected millions of parallel sentences for machine translation. We collected thousands of hours of data for speech recognition. And then we built state-of-the-art models on top of it using Bhashini speech recognition models and Azure's OpenAI. So these capabilities allows us to understand language, transcribe it, translate it, and also synthesize it back in the form of speech.
चाचा यू जुगलबंदी है, यहाँ पे हम लिख के भी और बोल के भी कुछ भी जो हमें स्कीम चाहिए, सरकारी योजना है, उनके बारे में जानकारी ले सका।
मैं किसान हूँ, मुझे सरकारी योजना कैसे प्राप्त हुई?
मेरा नाम जुगलबंदी है। मैं एक असिस्टेंट हूँ जो आपकी सरकारी योजना के बारे में जानने में और उसके लिए एनरोल करने में आपकी मदद करूँगी।
तो वहाँ से हमें लिखित में भी और ऑडियो में भी दोनों तरीके से जवाब आया और किस किस डॉक्यूमेंट्स की ज़रूरत पड़ती है और किस किस फॉर्म की ज़रूरत पड़ती है।
Jugalbandi is a chatbot.
So as you can see here, this is a great example of actually being able to use technology along with WhatsApp, which is available on almost every single Indian's phone who is connected to the internet, to be able to create a solution where you are using technology without needing humans and you're able to impart help to people who need it at when they need it. Another such example of this one is being able to integrate WhatsApp with Bhashini, which actually tells you which schemes you're eligible for. Now imagine as an entrepreneur, as somebody who's running a business, how you can use the same technology in order to be able to provide linguistic, customized language solutions for customer service, for the businesses and the business owners that you are working and in direct connection with. So you do not need to invent a complete new technology stack. All you need to do is understand the various technology levers that are out there and be current. And the best way to do this is, for me at least, I would definitely advise all of you to definitely to have a presence on LinkedIn, because all of this that we are speaking about is actually something that is discussed on an everyday basis. You don't need to stay on top of the news, top of technology, but you should be able to understand what technology can do for you. And that would be the biggest gain that you, and the biggest skill that you need to have in today's time, which is know how technology can be leveraged, not be able to know the technology stack, which is how easy technology has made it to understand technology itself, which is an irony almost, but that is how ChatGPT has made AI so understandable for all of us. Last is cultivating the power of communities. I think we are already in a post-COVID era where communities has still retained a lot of importance to not only help each other, but as far as SMBs are concerned, 90% of SMBs in this particular report have started and will continue to invest in marketing and tech tools, AI, and online communities as part of their marketing budget. Now, therefore, I wanted to leave you with this last pillar, which is about investing in online communities and being able to foster meaningful connections to build collaboration and customer loyalty. Now, building customer loyalty is very, very critical, especially because you want to have repeat business without investing in marketing in order to always continue to drive and get new users. Therefore, what are some of the guiding principles that you can use to enhance and therefore build on the power that communities is? First, harness the power of social media and build virtual communities. You don't need to have expensive meetups. You don't need to meet offline and spend a lot of food, dining, event space, etc. All of this can be managed virtually, and the engagement on virtual media, including on WhatsApp, LinkedIn groups, Twitter, Facebook groups, is immense. It is of immense value when you want to leave a message associated with your business and how you conduct business. And there is no better power than social media to do that. Share the strategy that you have for your business with your users who are engaging with you. These users do not have to be end users. These are decision makers who are looking for that need to be able to be first in the market, want to be able to get a solution. How do you engage with them without having to spend marketing monies? Communities is a great way to get the word out. You can foster very close ties and build connection with people. Now, we've forgotten the need for having connection once we are in this post-COVID world as well, where meeting people suddenly has become a problem. So please to understand that and invest the time and the energy to have close connections with people who are actually not machines, but they need that physical connection and the virtual connection to be top of mind. So you want to be top of mind for them. And last is build loyalty. If you have an engaged customer, if you keep that person or that decision maker engaged, the chances of repeat business are very high. If you give special attention in this community, then the chances of that repeat business without marketing purchase decisions to be made and therefore attracting them in marketing budget is also very high. So please keep these guiding principles in mind. Now, the last, in summary, I want to leave you with these key takeaways. Build a strong social media presence. It helps you to expand your reach, increase your brand awareness, and engage with customers at a personal level. Second, invest in developing your own personal brand to connect with your audience, establish authenticity and trust, and differentiate yourself from your competitors. Be a lead magnet yourself. You don't need to be an influencer, you just need to be yourself. Third, embrace emerging technologies like AI, ML, automation to drive innovation, efficiency, and personalized customer experiences. And last, build engaged communities that foster meaningful connections, collaboration, and customer loyalty, creating a sense of belonging and advocacy. And with this, I want to end my presentation and I'll be taking questions. Thank you so much for listening to me. I'm available on social media, on Twitter, LinkedIn, on Jasuja, and on Instagram. And I'm happy to answer any questions if you have about your digital strategy and more importantly, about your own presence on social media to build an authentic brand.
Thank you, Monica Ji. That was a very interesting presentation. And, we at FICCI are also, taking this exercise of how do we go completely digital and create a very different experience of customer service and delivery. After all, we are a service organization, and some of the points you have mentioned, starting from Satya Nadella's comment or the quote, are very apt, and I'm partly leading that initiative. So this is very helpful presentation to me as in person also. But I would invite any question from any of people who are participating here. Let me just check if someone is sent any question on the Fiki Byte platform. And I just had one question myself also on this, that, when you talk about there are a lot of tools available which can be very cost effective, probably one question always comes to the mind, that whether the data security part is really, taken care of with those kind of tools. So what is your say in terms of, because, I was talking to someone in the artificial intelligence part and chat GPT, and it's the interesting things happening based on that technology. And even we saw a demo by Microsoft, and that was quite fascinating. However, these were not very enterprise level solutions yet. A lot of security issues. For example, I was not aware that if you are sending a prompt or sending information on ChatGPT, it goes in some kind of a public server and it is available for everyone. So while we have seen cases where people are just putting some of their company's strategies or trying to improvise these strategies through ChatGPT, but eventually putting or risking the data of the company in that cloud where it's getting stored, and maybe someone else with a different prompt can get it. So what do you think from an enterprise level solutions, and vis-a-vis these um, um, free tools available or tools which as SMEs, what would be the challenge in terms of data security for MSMEs?
So this is a really great question. I think it applies. An MSME eventually is also a consumer or a merchant themselves, right? So we have to think about this from two levers and two different views. One is when we are sharing our data or we are doing an enterprise level deal with another business, we have to be able to evaluate who and what they do. Therefore, like when I mentioned, when somebody is evaluating you, they are looking at who your existing customer and your base is of the businesses who are already engaging with you. Similarly, we need to do that audit and the due diligence ourselves, which is where technology becomes an essential evil to actually work with. As far as data security is concerned, the one thing that I always tell, and because I come from the payments world and the fintech world where we are extremely risk averse and therefore to data breaches, is to make sure that in our contracts itself, we have the understanding of who owns the data and what would happen if a data breach happens. Because the liability of is not just of the brand, it's of the entire reputation of the business, which is at stake. Third, I would say is please do not risk using free tools. I know that we are building businesses, we need to cost optimize, but what happens is in trying to use these free tools, our data is the fees that we are paying to them. So you have to be extremely cognizant that there is nothing called free lunch, and please do not fall for these pranks. Similarly, when you're installing things, like for example, people like you and me, if you're installing Chrome extensions and plugins, we need to know that why are they giving it to us for free, because they're actually using our data. So at some point in time, you need to be able to do a trade-off and a balancing act between the cost of using a tool, what it's bringing for you, and therefore what is it that you are giving to that particular technology company for to be able to use that tool. So my advice always is do not fall for the free lunch, because if there was free lunch, then all of us would be eating for free every day, but we do not.
Yeah, very correct, very correct. Yeah. I think that goes across platform these days. For for a small amount of money, discount or whatsoever, you end up giving your precious data actually, and then face challenges later on. So anyway, that was a question from my end, but I don't see any question coming here on the bike. But anyone on the existing call, if there is anyone who wants to ask. Okay. Otherwise, anyways, this was a very interesting, presentation. This is also on now FICCI YouTube channel. So we would be, post this session, sharing the link of the YouTube channel to everyone to, revisit, whoever has registered or in general see, what can be done by them in terms of their social media strategy, as well as other business tools, how they can look at optimizing their processes as well as their marketing through these initiatives. So again, thank you for sharing your time. I think this was also on a very short notice, but appreciate you coming and presenting your thoughts, which were very helpful. And we hope maybe sometime we can do a little more interactive session also. So let's see. Yeah.
Thank you
And
so
thank you,
much.
Archana ji, for connecting and bringing Monica ji on.
Thank you, Ashton.
Okay. Thank you. So yeah, so this is the end of our second day's program. We had quite an interesting four speakers who shared thoughts ranging from e-commerce onboarding to procurement to website development, and to lastly building your brands through various virtual social media and other tools which are available, and optimizing the product and services which you offer. So we'll end our day here. Thank you everyone for joining us both here and at the bike platform. We will resume this session on third day, talking about access to finance. We have presenter from International Finance Corporations, IFC, which will be talking about green finance. We'll also have Sidbi doing a presentation, and we will have InviSmart representative talking about Threads platform and how it is working. So all in all, interesting presentation lined up, and we invite your participation for tomorrow as well. We'll share all the details once more towards the end of the day. For the time being, thank you again, and look forward to seeing all of you tomorrow afternoon. Thank you.